Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a very exciting unboxing for me. You know, this is a book I frankly didn't think I would get for at least 5 years, and I'll explain more in a little bit. I have one guest joining me currently. I sent out a few invites, but Southern Comic Geek has been pleasant enough to join me. This is your third show of the night, right?
Yeah, I'm bouncing here and there and everywhere. I think I got after this. So it's a fun night going into the Christmas week. So what's up, folks? But hey, I wanted to be here because when you said the excitement around a single digit ASM.
Never claimed single digit. You filled in that
Yeah,
gap.
you did. Yeah, you did. So when you claim single digit, I said, I got to see this because this guy, he's going to be like all over himself getting the single digit ASM. Now, before you reveal all that, how many more ASMs do you need to complete your run?
Well, I'm not sure. I think I need about 240 or 200-ish, somewhere in there.
Okay, so out of how many books in volumes? Is it 6 volumes now or 5?
Well, it depends on it depends on which cataloging thing you're using, I think. But what I say is there's 5. We're currently in the 5th one, but okay. I've completed. I think I need one more book from the 4th or the 3rd. But otherwise, I have all the books from 3, 4, and 5 currently up to date. Okay. So I just only need 1 and 2, and all that. So good guess. But it's not ASM 14. That one's right here.
That's my guess.
Yeah, well, you said that, but I didn't say, and you can say all you want, but I never claimed single digit.
Yeah.
But no, this book here, I swear that I thought I'd get this book in after my collection was basically complete. Because here's the one little hint I didn't drop that I thought might give it away. So I didn't spend all that. I have a reprint or another copy of this book. And the way I do my collecting is all that is I'm good with second prints and all that to complete the run. Whether or not I get a first print, is another matter and all that. I'm good with reprints just to fill the space in the collection so I can, to quote Harry Potter terms, it's like a half-blood collection. It's both pure blood first prints and then the mud blood or reprints filling in the gap. So, but I knew this particular book is one I would have to have eventually in its first print. I would have to have it. It's just one of those books I had to have the first print of. But I would guess that it would have been after I completed the entire collection and started upgrading my books. And I wish.
You do have a page of that, though, right?
Yeah, I have a page, which is funny because the price I paid for that page, if I paid that amount for every single page in that book, plus the cover, I would literally spend the exact amount of money I would need for like a 0.5 of that book. So something may be required, might not be the best, or might not be the worst idea.
So, I mean, so that's a good, but I think he slipped and told me that it was a thing. I might be wrong. And maybe he did get a 129 because that is a good guess because I know he's got some reprints of that. Now, with that ASM, you've already got like a huge chunk of your ASM this year. I've tried to help where I could, but, talking about the big books because you got a 1. I know you got your 2 back, right?
Yeah, I have 2, 3, 4, 5. and all that. Yeah, like I said, this year has been a big year. I've got an ASM 1, 2. I got my ASM 2 back. I got a ASM 300 back signed by McFarlane, which is actually an upgrade. It's a 7.5 in the last one. I got an ASM 8 and 9. Superman 75, Death of Superman, signed by Dan Jurgens in that 9.8 that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I got a couple other, what did I say? I wrote it down. I wrote a couple things down. Yeah, just, a couple of variants that are not very expensive, but have been like I want that book, like the ASM 300 variant where Doc Ock is in the position of, ASM, the homage cover of 300.
Mm-hmm.
I got a third print or fourth print of Edge of Spider-Verse 2. So I got a bunch of books that were considered big for me and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all the books that I got this year, the only one that outstrips this one is ASM 1 to me. That was the how I viewed it. So
wow, you might be Comic Collector might be right. It might be a 129 then.
So.
That's certainly a huge book. But yeah, to be able to get all that. And so let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done your video detailing your top so many books in your collection or for this year? Because that would give you an excellent chance for my contest, for the 750 subscriber contest, to win an X-Men 4. Just saying.
Not yet. I was going to do it closer to the end of the year here, maybe like next week here at the end, kind of a thing. But honestly, I don't think I'm getting any more big books till the end of the year. So I might as well, because like I said, I've been writing down as I've gotten in here going, okay, this book is not big, but I love the cover, so it qualifies to be added to the list. Last year I had a top 50. I'm not going to reach 50 this year. I might just do a top 20 kind of a thing. So,
but I mean, the bigger books you get, like especially when you're dealing in ASM 1s, I mean, come on. I mean, when you're dealing with ASM 1, oh, sweet. And if I was going to get a 129, I would love to get it signed by Jerry Conway too. But if you're dealing with ASM 1 though, I mean, you're talking about a different tier. You're not dealing with dollar bin books or even $2 to $5 books, which a lot of the ASMs that you need, that's what they are, right?
Yeah, they're
a total different tier. So, yeah. Of course, you're going to start shrinking unless you had unlimited funds. Yeah. You're going to start shrinking to get more of that quality. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm to the point now where I can still get the $5-6 books and all that, but yeah, we're looking at the point where when we're dealing with like the double-digit ASM, where I'm going to spend $30 a book, and I can't avoid it. So,
right.
But yeah. Well, if 122 is your guess, Mr. Gretzky, no, because I got 122 from Southern here, in a 6.0, the death of Green Goblin, it's not Gwen Stacy.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, let's say hi to a few people in the chat and all that, and draw out the suspense a little bit longer. There's you, of course, Mr. Gretzky, who showed up a little bit before. He says he messed up when I told him that, I'm sorry he didn't make it further in Comigores the other day. But hey, don't feel bad, Mr. Gretzky, because, I've only won like 1 or 2 rounds live on Comigores in person. I've only had my real luck at the home version. Comic Collector, who will make an appearance on Sunday's episode 2 of the Knockout. He is doing Bloodshot. Yeah,
you my man. You stole my character, but you my man. Okay.
Yeah, well, I put Bloodshot in there hoping you would claim it, and you were just too slow, Joe.
I was like, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to Bloodshot? I thought seriously. I had thought you said when I saw the list and it was already marked out. And I said, well, he already knew I wanted that, so that's why he just marked it out for me. And then I'm like, what?
No, I would give it. The only one I purposely, I think, was marked off was Burke. He said if he when he said he wanted like Green Power Ranger, I said, well, I'll put Green Power Ranger on there and give it to you because I didn't know anyone else would claim it. Yeah, and then all that. So just in case, you're more than welcome to vote for Blue.
Oh, it's a foregone conclusion. Booster Gold out.
Speaking of voting, if you guys go to my upcoming live stream on my channel, I have both episode 1 and episode 2 set, so you can set a reminder for the show. And in the description, the link to the voting is open. So those of you who are competing, advertise. Go get your family and friends to vote for you. So that way, it's just a foregone conclusion when you enter the show that you're just gonna win.
Right. Yeah, and do call your friends, call your wife, call your kids. I mean, that's what I tried to do, and it helped me one time. It didn't help me the next time.
All right. So before I open this, did you want to revise your guess? I'm
not gonna steal somebody else's guess because 129 was a good guess, but I'm thinking 6.
Oh, you'll get there. But yeah, just get out there. Hey, I need you to vote for me.
Yeah, vote for me. Vote for me.
I'll give you a free book. I'll give you some free comics if you vote for me.
Okay. Babies and all that kind of good stuff.
So, I bought this book from the same person that I bought my ASM 2, 3, and 1 from. 1, 2, and 3 from. It's the same person I got that. It's called Absolute. I think Absolute. Oh, crap, I keep forgetting here. I'm gonna look it up because he's done a lot for me as far as books. I want to properly give him a shout out. He's on Instagram as well as YouTube. So let's see. Oh yeah, Absolute Comics and Statues. So I'll put I don't think I put the link in the description, but I'll definitely try and fill that out. So, he's given me a lot of my big books and all that. So I know I wanted this book, but I didn't want to pay eBay because I didn't want to fight for it. So I thought, I'm looking at the eBay prices going, well, I don't see anything buy it now that I like in the grades that I like and all that. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And all that. So so I went to Instagram and all that, and I contacted him and said, hey, I'm looking for this book. I bought the other books from you. I'm looking for this book. Do you have it raw or graded? And he had a couple of them. And so we did it we did it on Instagram directly through PayPal, avoiding all the fees and all that. And I'll explain a little bit more in a second. So he's from somewhere in New York, I think. Oh yeah, he's from New York.
Yeah, I'm looking at his IG page. Books here.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of good books from him. ASM 1, 2, and 3. So I would gladly. What?
He's got AF-15 on here.
Yep. Yeah. And I would gladly go through him for other books in the future here. If I'm looking for a particular book or a particular grade, he's always treated me right. In fact, I got my ASM 1 for like $500, $600 less because I went through direct through Instagram than I went through even the buy it now option on eBay when it was there.
Yeah, because that way he don't have to pay the fee, so he's passing some of that savings to you.
Yeah. So it wasn't too much of a savings this time. I basically paid $25 more than fair market value according to Go Collect, and that $25 basically comes down to a very well packed shipping cost. So I basically paid fair market value for the book, kind of a thing. So, all right, moment of truth. I get that paper out of the way. Yeah. All right.
Drum roll. He was right.
ASM 129. CGC 4.5. Let me get that angle right.
The comic collector was correct.
Yeah. Gotta get that bad angle. Shit. There you go. That's a little bit better at least.
So let me ask you, I know that before the corona hit that you had planned on getting Jerry Conway to sign that reprint because he was coming to a con up there by you.
Yeah.
Would you crack that and get him to sign it, given the option?
I'm pretty sure I will and all that, even if it means I lose the CGC and go to the CBCS kind of thing, because I'm not sure if was CGC at the con where I was. So, but to have him actually sign it,
yeah,
I would love it. So, but yeah, fair market value for this book was, I believe, $775 was
yeah.
fair market.
That thing's gone crazy,
Yeah.
and in a beautiful yellow cover. I'm not a Punisher fan, but I mean, I love that yellow and that red, how it blends together on there.
Yeah.
And it looks great. Did he have the grader's notes for that book or no?
I don't think so. I didn't ask because the
Because
cover looks
yeah,
pretty good. But you're saying?
well, I'm sorry, it's the lag. Sorry, but what I was saying was, I was curious as if it had been pressed or not. So if you were going to go to get, like, say, Jerry Conway next year at a con near you,
Mhm.
crack it, get it pressed, and then get Jerry Conway to sign it in person.
Yeah.
But that yellow label, whether you go with CBCS or CGC, is going to be fire. And if it was me and if I was a Spidey fan, I would get the CGC one that has the Spider-Man logo, if you could, up there, because I just think that would all just so pop really well with that book.
I mean, I see a little bit on the spine that might be able to be pressed out, but that's also, I also see it looks like color breaking. So it's not what I do. It's a little bit worn along the spine here, like, the little stress marks,
Yeah.
That you get from a paperback book, because the rest of the cover looks in good shape, pretty flat, but for the most part. I mean, there's some stuff that can get out a little bit. I don't know if it's enough to bump it up a grade. And there's also a little bit of a cleanup on the back, could whiten it up just a little bit, I think, and I imagine. But I don't see more than, maybe a 5.0 at best.
Yeah, but I mean, that starts talking about real money, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I know you're not going to get rid of it, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but I would do that if I was going to get him to sign it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't crack it just to crack it, But
because before that, I had this book here. This is what I bought like 3 months ago, just so I can have a graded version in my collection. The Marvel Milestone Edition, and a 9.6. So,
well, see, now you could be crazy like me and just collect homages of that cover, because there's a billion of them, right?
in a bit, yeah. I mean, there's some I wanted, because in fact I have a couple of the things I did here. Well, I have reprints, like I said, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. If I thought maybe I can have, if I said I can take a couple of issues of this book, I even bought one that I was going basically going to have him sign for then give it to my son, that so he can have a reprint signed. There's the Marvel Legends reprint,
Uh-huh.
the not for sale and the missing price over there. And then there's the True Believers version of the cover. So I had thought about going, well, maybe I can have a few of them signed and graded, and then I sell them. Yes, they're reprints, but some people might pay for some might pay $50 on an auction for a signed reprint.
Sure.
But yeah,
people congratulating you in the chat.
Yeah, I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I got that one this year too. Awesome. You would definitely stick with CGC for verification. Yeah, I do agree that it's probably the best in value. Like I said, it all depends too. If I mean, I'd have to have CGC there, honestly, or send it in through a CGC thing and have him to, in a signing event to have him to get that label. Because where I went to this last year, either CGC wasn't there or they just weren't publicly there. I can't remember, because I went to the Colorado Springs Comic-Con. If I'd gone to the Denver one, I'm not sure if CGC was there or not, but yeah. So I paid, it was listed on eBay for I think like $860 or something. I'm not sure, but I paid $800 shipped for this book, which is $25 more than fair market value. But like I said, when you throw in shipping, I basically paid that, and I also saved the fees, or that would be associated with eBay, because I contacted the seller directly. Awesome. Thank you very much. So, yep. Here's another good Spider-Man collector here. I got a few ASM Volume 1 books from him.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, did you get that last package I sent you off yet?
No, not yet.
I sent you the tracking on it, but I didn't know if it fell in the dungeon or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll look it up here afterwards here, but I haven't gotten anything from you yet.
Yeah, you see where I got that, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
You know, I got these pops. They're over here multiplying. Like.
Yeah. Well, I got mine here too. I got my John McClane recently here from my second favorite Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. It has Christmas music in it. There's holiday.
Exactly. It's a Christmas movie. It's a foregone conclusion. I mean, there's no mistake.
Nothing says Merry Christmas like dead bodies falling off of a building.
Hey, look, so you know that pops they're coming out with Seinfeld pops now.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Seinfeld much. I never quite got the show.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get those when they come out.
But yeah, so my wife and ours, the way things work for this book here is we got to some money recently here. My wife and I are luckier than most people are right now. We've kind of been relatively unaffected somewhat by COVID. I mean, she's an essential worker, so she has a job. She had a job unaffected whatsoever, and my job has been relatively good and all that. Just my hours haven't been affected and all that, so we've been really somewhat unaffected as far as work-related stuff goes. So when we got extra money coming in and all that, my wife said she wanted to get me a book, or she'd give me a book and all that. And I just kept on thinking, this is the book I really wanted. If I had to pick one book left on my list, this is the top of the book. Even more than 6, 7, or 10 to complete 1 through 10. I wanted this book. Not a reprint.
So you just a fan of the character Punisher, or just a fan of that cover? Was that what really drove you to get that one?
I would say 60% cover, 40% the character is hot. So
okay.
If I had waited much longer to try and get this book, I would have to wait. I have to wait really long to try and get the prices to relatively even again, because isn't Punisher supposed to be coming back to back to Marvel here, Marvel here soon? So if Punisher makes an appearance in a Marvel movie, there goes my chance of getting even this book at the price I did. So it's all that. Yeah, well, stay safe out there.
Hey, so now they're going to be sending a second stimulus check out. So there's you some more Spidey money. Don't let your wife take that money. It's got to go to Spidey.
No, that second stimulus check is going towards paying a card off completely.
Oh, okay.
So that way I can use that card again. So, well, no, like I said, I recently got some security cameras for around the house after my car was broken into. My CDs were stolen.
Oh, dang. Really?
Yeah. So luckily they got a couple of homemade CDs, and that was basically it. Although they stole a couple of my CDs that I got from Renaissance Festival of the band Celtic Legacy. It's a Scottish music kind of band.
Okay.
It's kind of music, and since I'm Scottish and all that, I like the music.
Huh.
So, but yeah. So I mean, it sucked, but it gave me a little bit of paranoia. For a while there, I was just paranoid about security more than ever. So I just really wanted to get some cameras out there, especially since like 2 weeks later, someone tried to break into the house while my son was home alone and all that. So luckily, the door they tried to get into was the most secure one in the house.
So is your son's name Kevin?
Xander.
Okay, I was gonna say if it was Kevin, he didn't have nothing to worry about, right?
Yeah, yeah. So partly for his safety and all that, we got some more cameras for the house. But I made sure one is in my office here to watch my comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Yep. This is officially the second biggest book of the year after ASM 1. So I didn't think I would be getting it this year. I thought it'd be at least 5-10 years away, honestly. I thought I'd be saving up for weeks, or not weeks, months to get this book, honestly. But the opportunity presented itself, and it's done. So
have they announced on your con? Are they going to have it next year?
The dates have been pushed for, I think, the end of August. So I haven't heard anything yet. Again, if it's, we'll find out more. I didn't find out until 2 months before that the cons were basically canceled. So all I know is that the tickets that I bought for this last year are good for this upcoming year. So I don't have to pay any more. So hopefully Jerry Conway shows up at the con again, because he was supposed to be there last year here, or this year. So hopefully he shows up next year so I can get him to sign my Death of Green Goblin and First Punisher.
Yeah, because I would get him to sign first Jason Todd, or it's the first cameo of Killer Croc in Batman.
Yeah,
he did that story also. But and I tell you, one that Jerry Conway wrote in more recent memory is the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, which I think is the better Spider-Man story in more recent time.
I did like that a lot. In fact, that's before this current arc of Spider-Man, where it's like hinting that it almost seems like it's hinting that they might undo that thing. And so I'm just, here's hoping.
Yeah, I've heard that's what's going to happen, and that would be great, because I used to read Spidey obviously more than I do now, but that was something I didn't like.
Yeah, I was all Mary Jane and Peter and all that, and so I'm like, I love it. It's like Peter and Mary Jane is like Clark and Lois. It's like the two perfect couples and all that. But I was like, so when I found out the marriage was undone, I was like, no.
And it just didn't make any sense. I mean, the only reason they wanted it because they wanted him to appeal to a younger audience. I mean, it's stupid.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I thought about having Conway sign, because I looked up Jerry Conway from ASM books, going, well, maybe that one, or that one. Not sure. Even considered taking my treasure cover of Superman versus Amazing Spider-Man, but there's no case to put it in like this, so I just said, nah, never mind.
All boards and bags for those treasury editions, though.
Yeah. So, but what was I thinking of? But yeah, I do like the Renew Your Vows thing. In fact, I was going to say, before this whole story arc where it's like hinting, or they might do it, they just might do it, please. I was of the opinion of they should have continued Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. They have that version of Spider-Man married. It could be Earth 617 or whatever, where Spider-Man is married to Mary Jane and he has the family. That way you got people like us that are either older or love the storyline, and he can be that kind of thing. And then I think you're frozen. But and then you can have the storyline where he's single. For the,
is it just me, or is Matt froze up? You there?
I'm here.
Okay, it was messed up on my end. I didn't know if it was everybody.
But yeah, so then the normal story arc where he's single for the single guys, and you can have him slightly, late 20s to fit the younger crowd, and all that. So, but I never quite understood why him being married wouldn't, entice more and all that. You got another crowd where you got the people like us who are married with families. We can relate to Spider-Man even more now. And if he has a kid, you can still, and if he has a kid with spider powers, if it's an older kid slightly, you can still have bringing kids in that way. I mean, hell, that's why they had Miles Morales, right? He's that young Spider-Man related. So I didn't quite understand, but hey, it looks like we might get our way. So here's hoping. Be a great Christmas.
I've heard good reviews out of this last arc, that this was a really good storyline. Since the whatever issue it was that they revealed who Kindred was, since they revealed that storyline has been pretty good. Now their numbering is kind of wonky, with the way they're doing it. But other than that,
well, it's no different than the .hus. It's just the .lr now. So I don't quite understand it, but I guess it's a way to flush out the story more without making the story arc 20 issues. And yeah, more.
That's it right there.
Hey, as long as they keep doing some of these covers, they can. Yeah, here's my mind. What's that Jeff Foxworthy joke when he was he's like shiny objects going, "We must have it. Here's our life savings." So, but yeah, this is a gorgeous. Where do you think I should? If he is there and I have him sign it, I was thinking of having Jerry Conway sign it. I was thinking kind of either right here, or I said across his chest, maybe, because I just don't know where. I don't want it across the title of the book.
And that's typically where they would get it. That's typically where they would sign it on the title. It's where Chris Claremont likes to sign his stuff. Look at Jerry. Yeah, look at Jerry Conway's signature. Like, get a look at a picture where he signed something, and then kind of look at that in comparison to that, so you can kind of see how big his signature is. Yeah. Because like Roy Thomas's signatures is really small, so like it could fit like in that bottom left-hand corner down there, like almost under Punisher, in between Punisher's legs almost. But I don't know about Jerry Conway. His might be bigger, and that would probably determine where I would want to put it.
I don't know. I think I've seen it about like this big, maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's also the other option. I've seen a few books on videos and otherwise where they've been signed, but they were signed like back on the back cover, so that doesn't take away from the front cover, because no one's gonna miss Evil Knievel's face with Sharpie on it.
Well, and you know that's why they used to sign on the inside on the first page at the bottom, so it wouldn't mess with anything. But the problem with grading now is you'll never see it.
Yeah. Right? That's one of the reasons why I don't like one of the options is the back, but I don't want, if I ever want a book signed, I want it signed on the cover. You know, I mean, few books are as perfect as when I had my first full Jenica as a turtle or whatever, and second print of 95. There was just that perfect empty space, the truck there. And where's the other one I had? I mean, that's Death of Craven was a harder place. I wanted him signed across the chest instead of along the rafters. You know, so that was a personal choice for me. But don't know, because I don't want him covering Spidey too much. So it's like that really limits my option. Don't want Punisher covered, don't want Spider-Man covered, and don't want the title covered. So unless the signature's this big, makes it hard to pick out a spot. So
yep.
Oh well. So Amazing Spider-Man 129, the second biggest book I got this year. Maybe not to some people. You know, some people might consider ASM 2 or 3, and 1, 2, and 3 literally in that order. But I consider this one the second biggest book this year. You know, to me, partly just because, like I said, I literally thought this book was at least like 5 or 10 years out of my reach. So, you know, so the only book that beats it this year was Amazing Spider-Man #1. Period, hands down, because it's.
Have you sent that off to be graded yet?
Not yet. I'm still. I might not have been too affected by COVID and all that, but I still was affected enough as far as things going that I was just careful where I spent my money and how I spent it and all that. So just doing something new with PGX was just not quite there. Although I might be sending another batch off to CBCS soon, because I'm getting cash for Christmas from my mother-in-law and my mom, just because they don't know what else to give me this year, and it's just a little bit easier and all that. So just, yeah, cash is fine. You know, give me some cash and all that, and I'll use that to pay for books to be graded that have been in the
I said I'll pay for my addiction that way.
I don't have a problem. I have a hobby that costs a lot of money.
What do you do? Drugs? Comic books. It's really similar.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm in my. I'm spend the whole time, going.
Uh-huh.
Smells like
Well,
white to white pages.
yeah, off there. There you go. Old comic smell.
Yep. Yep, and that's literally what it is. 4.5 off white to white pages. So yeah, it's amazing. I've heard a couple of interviews by I listened to a podcast called The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider Talk, and all that, and they have a lot of people interviews from time to time, and like Jerry Conway's been on there like 5 or 6 times, and all that, and he's talked about this book as one of the books too. Like the big character of this book was supposed to be the Jackal.
Okay.
Because the whole first clone arc and all that. But he never expected Punisher to take off. Punisher was supposed to be like a 1 or 2 and done kind of guy.
Yeah.
But who knew? So anyway, I got the big bad Punisher first Punisher out of the way now. So all right, Marvel, show her up in an MCU movie. I'm ready. Everyone else can chase off. Everyone can spend 3 or 4 times what I paid for this book for the same grade.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm hungry. It's been almost 40 minutes. It's 8 o'clock my time and past 9 for you. Don't know when your next video is. So, but you don't have a clock in there?
Well, I saw this light. I thought it was like police lights coming through the window, but I think it's the kids playing with the lights on that and outside the door.
Officer, if you drag him away, I want first dibs at his books.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me his comics. So yeah, I was thinking about selling some books tonight, and I was going to jump on an auction, and then
yeah. But because I was thinking about jumping on to next week on next Saturday, doing joining you for an auction, but
okay.
But with the first episode of the Knockout season 2 coming up, I'd be on there for like an hour and then leaving and have to set everything up. So it'll have to wait till I'll have to wait till New Year if I join. So
well, I was gonna ask you because we had suspended the Saturday morning cartoon crew for this week and next week because next weekend I think it's the first of the first. So, but I think let's see, Christmas is on that Friday, so that's going to be the day after. A lot of people are going to be shopping. I haven't decided what I'm going to do, but for that day after Christmas deal.
yeah.
But I was thinking about just doing an auction on the channel if I had a couple of people that wanted to sell something. So
yeah, I might. Like I said, it had to be more of a morning thing and not a like afternoon thing. But anyway, before I do let you go, here, for everyone currently watching or everyone watching on the rewind for a few days here, let's do a little preview of the. I've showed it once before during a hangout, but let's do a little preview of the first intro of the season 2 of the Knockout, episode 1. So I not only did I redesign the thumbnails, but I redesigned the intro for each episode for the episodes. So why don't I get that video here and all that? So anyone who currently made it this far or is watching live, here's a little sneak peek at what you're gonna see if you join us on Saturday afternoon. So all right, let's get it going here. Get the full screen. Here we go. So, and so. So that is it. So hopefully the sound came across good. I seem to have a problem with my sound being shared. Like it fades out a little bit, but
Yeah, it did do that, but I mean, that killer bumper.
yeah, so I just need to find out how to get the sound to come across undiluted like that. Other people have how their intros are the share videos and all that, and the sound doesn't seem to be affected. So I don't know what the deal is with me. So
Um, I don't know.
maybe it's maybe it's the computer I like, or maybe it's I don't know. We'll have to find out. Or maybe it's the fact that I'm not paying for StreamYard. Maybe if I paid for
Yeah, that could be it because I know, and if you have the paid for version, because I just got the paid for version for StreamYard, the paid for version has a thing that you can just click on that and play like the countdown timer and or your other videos or new clips, like JB likes to do.
Yeah.
That thing.
All right. Well, that's the upcoming sneak preview of what the episode 1 of season 2 will look like. Actually, that's one of the episodes I'm really looking forward to because Batman Beyond is my favorite Batman. So, and to have him paired up with Daredevil is I think, going to be a very interesting matchup. So we'll see what Fuchsia and Zach have to bring to the show. So, as usual, the link to vote will be there. So, guys, feel free to vote for who you think will win. And you're always, as always, welcome to the chat to help direct where it's going. Your points of view and whatnot. So, I'm going to let everyone go so I can get some dinner and so Southern can get ready for his next show.
All right.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe. And as always, happy collecting. And just remember, you can always get it. It's never out of your reach. So sometimes it's sooner than you think. So happy collecting, everyone. Till next time, Mr. Comic signing off. Take care, everyone.
Adios.